views on it and for their website for advertisements. All right, verse of the day is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, King James Version. A man that hath friends must shew himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Damn, I am fucking gassy this morning. Also, as a heads up, I made all my videos, just like my Twitch stream, is labeled for adult content, and I think that's the best choice. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think my content's adult content. I do cuss, I do swear, I do smoke weed on it, but you know, well, I looked at the 18 plus stuff. That's like nudity, sexual content, excessive language, excessive violence, and whatnot. So I think I'm pretty covered. I just think, you know, just because I'm cool with cussing around and smoking around my kids doesn't mean, like, you know, I think that's appropriate for somebody else's. Like, someone else might not want that, you know? I'm still a little sick, so we're hoping to get better. But here we are to play Avowed. Still Garrote report. We found this book on a public bench after a careful study. Our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature found on the scrolls of Tane's chaotic orb. Be advised that Tane is in the living lands as a member of the Circle of Arch Magi. He has a license to go where he pleases. We will observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. And he's either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance. Dear Diary, here I am in the living lands. The island might not be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful, also the most flavorful according to the mushrooms, and mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promised Bakarna I'd bring back a souvenir. There's rumor of a fallen star in Wisteria could be a nice addition to her collection. Message is scribbled on the inside cover. And found, please return to Tane, the Archmage, author of Tane's chaotic orb. I'm tempted to give up on reading all these because I assume it's only gonna get worse for the lore. And this takes up a whole lot of my playthrough. Sometimes just reading. The Ader Empire Part 2, Expanding Borders. In 2602 AI, a deer and explorers return from the ocean, retelling tales of ruins, treasures of expensive fields that were perfect for growing borals. The explorers warned the forcing the locals were not friendly to outsiders, but the fire song saying this is an opportunity, man. I don't know about, but opportunity to extend his empire and secure trade on another continent. Sent more explorers over the next 20 years. The area that would become the Drywood was investigated, mapped, and colonized. In 2623, the first permanent Adrian colonial settlements were established. Verlast fields were set up north of the forest and Drywood, but between the conflicts with Landfathens and the War of the Broken Stone, it floundered. It wasn't until 2643 that the opportunity presented itself again. Some Aothazans, pilgrims wanting to escape persecution, established colonies and Vorlast farming operations in the territory of Raid Theris. With Grand Valia on the verge of collapse, Forsong wanted to ensure his hold on the purple dye trade would be established. He encouraged the settlement and even paid to have the pilgrims set up in the New World. Because the forcing was still trying to secure his name in the purple dye trade, he was unable to properly respond to Admeth Hedrot when he issued his ultimatum to avoid rebellion and leave himself time to proceed to Vorlast farms. In Lucerus, the Forcin related the inmate Admeth Agref Palatine. In return for this concession, Admeth spent time and resources on railroad trade and shipping routes, benefiting the forcing with increased income. For 7 years, the drywood provided a year with a steady income, leaving forcing time to ensure his trade system and raid Saris was strong. With the fair song's attention elsewhere, Admeth instituted the 10 years treaties ending the slavery in drywood and permanently removing one of the revenue source provided by the drywoodian explorers. Artifacts from the ruins scattered throughout the drywood. At this point, the four songs word meant almost nothing to the citizens of drywood. Admeth hired and had replaced him as the true leader in order to undermine a misunderstanding that Young found allies willing to explore the ruins against the treaty conditions and plunder them. Soon Deer again had a supply of artifacts to sell. When his agents were eventually caught, the forced Young distanced himself from the operation concern. There was no way to link him to proceeding. But the Graf, using means provided to him by his Glenfathomed allies, the Scout Evans needed to prove that forced Young was behind the plunderers. The conflict that arose from this revelation led to Admeth declaring independence for the drywood in 2668. And after a bloody 4-year-long war that resulted in the death of Admeth, the forcing relented, trying to keep control of Drywood had become too costly. He signed treaties with the new Duke of Drywood and returned his attention to Reed Sears, redoubling efforts on Boris trade, which is still running today. Huh. Okay, yeah, I'm just... Trade letter. Ambassador Halgard, I maintained order in Paradise for many years. I know this city, when there is good leader and fair policy, there is peace. But you have allowed to stoke roads, terrorism appeal to sow distress and fear. I suggest you tighten your inquisitor's leash, or on the MC might not carry your banners for long. Yeah.
Envoy, how can I... There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you...
I think I've... Yeah.
But it's top of ground, deep in, while...
I think I've already done.
I'll... Night. Huh? What? Sean, how? The lot... Fiume Severino is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fior is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fior's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fior. The whole much now through up to we should in us but everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in
Not 100% sure, but I think I've done that one too.
It was founded by the Thirdborn.
Well, maybe I haven't.
Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orland mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rauatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia, or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rauatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, Their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's Mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Aumaua, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra poured the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pagrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Naturally. The Pagrunan are a
Man,
unique
we're already
community of mountain
almost
wolves
15
originating in
minutes
Old
into this
Valia.
video. I haven't really done shit.
As a people, they have made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which
I
they
gotta follow our
take great
taxes.
pains to record and
My
transmit
wife
across
just
their
got married,
various
so
communities. Even
start
the
a new
most
life.
physically isolated
Body
Pagrunan
hurts.
is not
Body
alone.
hurts.
Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. I'm an open book. Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodaka's edicts
I mean,
are
none of
clear.
this will
If
really
you obey
pertain
her
to the
laws,
story. That's the
pursue
thing. Like,
justice,
there's so
punish the
much
guilty,
lore.
and give fealty to the Emperor. Then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodaka does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free.
Alright. It's live again.
I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing oathbreakers who'd fled a Diran law. She'd come back to the Imperial archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deathfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I've heard of no others except those I've read about in the histories, or, as you say, in stories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodaka's priests, or Wodaka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. By all means. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps...
You guys gotta let me
I
know
don't
at
know
some
about
point
it.
if people do care
He
enough to
wouldn't
comment.
say, but I believe he relied on the
If you want me
Clavager
listening to
far
all
more
this
than he
stuff.
lets on. And without the Clavager's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the
I know
sinking
what I do,
ship
but-
that is Paradise.
Clavager Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than
I did the exact
ambassador
same thing on my
liked,
first
but
playthrough.
He kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose years later, he still does. Oh, be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. Of course. I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, Watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare.
Yeah, last time I played this, instead of doing
highly
Vanguard
controlled.
Scale, I did the
Many people wish
Dream
to know
thing,
who
which
they were
played a
in
way
previous
bigger
life,
role in it, I feel like.
and do not like what they learn. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Worka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a watcher is born a watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know. A watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. Well, the Watcher of Cadmua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runed, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end. I don't think so.
The envoy is right. You're basically a watcher encyclopedia.
Why should a secretary be limited to knowledge of filing systems and how the ambassador takes his tea? I was a boy once. Watchers were a special interest of mine when I was young.
He sounds defensive to me. Does he sound defensive to you, envoy?
I'm not a watcher.
Exactly what a watcher would say.
Exactly what Watcher would say.
Your fun puts me at tremendous risk. This isn't a subject the Inquisitor takes lightly.
All right. I know you're not a watcher, Teach. You'd be better at dice.
Apology accepted. I'm an open book. Safe.
Oh, thank God. A sent letter. Clavenger Amon. I knew the blighting of Strangler is a cause for concern, but I must strongly discourage any trade deal that involves buying additional costs from feel more severe now. John George, the blasphemous trade of animated and naturalists, welcome to our dinner tables. Quizzer, I have been in Emerald Stair long enough to confirm our suspicions. People of pure mass and no care not for the lords of mortals or gods, animacy and folk magic are peddled in defiance of Rudoka. The crimes are non-real, their way of life intolerable. All's not lost politically, they are unstable too, focused on themselves and us, our eager hands tightening the garrots. We await your order, your friend in the forest.
Still can't believe you're alive.
I can't believe
Alright, let's get this shit
you're
done.
alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Not even death can slow you down, I see. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. Here's something to tide you over. But your work isn't finished just yet. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own.
I
No
should
sooner
have
had
did
you arrived than
dexterity.
you found yourself at the center of our
Steal some
troubles.
coins. See, I feel like intelligence plays a decent role in this.
At this point, I can't rule anything out. We're in uncharted waters. This embassy has no shortage of political foes. But the dream scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. No doubt some superstitious peasant toiling in the fields. The Living Lands has plenty of both. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague's a distraction. She's more concerned with some local rebels fighting against the Empire. At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. But a plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit, the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
Alrighty.
Indeed, the killer sent a message. But this is our chance to send one in return.
Yep, can't kill me.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisen rebels must face justice. The choice is yours, as will be the consequences. All I ask is that you use your best judgment.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the Living Lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another. An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius and the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Yeah, I might as well collect my second companion.
I can't tell you how grateful I am that you survived the attempt on your life. But let's not dwell on unpleasant matters.
Oh.
None of the clerks believe my story.
I mean, I won't get that.
You might have to look at the box here. Oh, okay. How are we getting up here? I hear the sound. Whenever you're close to a collectible, the game makes noises. Alright, so I don't think I can get her up right here. Okay. Over there I can do. Nope, I have to come on this way. Here. Okay. Okay, so I'm definitely missing something here. I don't see how I can get up any higher though, that's the thing. Maybe I need to look it up. instead of spending hours on this shit. I'm gonna look it up real quick. How to climb back from the sea and go east. Um, Alright. And we can get up to a max of 25,000.
Looks like poison. We should find Marius. He could tell us more.
Oh man, I didn't even see this shit. Okay, so it said I can climb up here. Man. Alright. Oh, it didn't say where to find it. Here you go. That's what I got. I'm tempted to do something before the video ends. I got 20-some minutes left.
This is regular, flex, holiday, premium, and standard.
or checks box 14 WW02 for a FLSA or OT premium code. Usually calculated as total overtime pay divided by 3. Look at your final pay stub of the year for the year-to-date total or overtime earnings. I mean, we didn't. It's live again. We didn't really work a lot overtime. We both wanted to relax. I mean, mostly it was my fault. I wanted to relax a lot. I didn't really want to do all the work. I would speak to Alfred. Turn some quests.
Hey, it's the envoy.
Envoy, hey.
I swear, I owe you the world.
I own the world. He saved my life, remember?
Yeah, you only told me about 100 times.
Hey, where's Yeda? Is everyone else on their way?
Does he mean?
They didn't make it off, Rick. I'm sorry.
But you saved Cadman. You couldn't save them?
Hope you more.
Or you didn't try?
What happened?
What?
They probably went quickly, if that helps.
I can't understand this.
Hey, Offric, hey, listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves.
Better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if.
Did you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead?
What? But he... More senseless killing won't bring them back. They didn't get justice, but at least I got my brother back.
Don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me.
What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy.
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this. It belonged to our grandfather. He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us.
This form
Remind us to live well.
Did you withdraw?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we both did. I did it twice.
Well, I'm sure you've got big Envoy things to do.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything.
If you're ever in High Crown, look us up.
Yeah, we can drink to the Corps together.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them may even get a happy ending.
Alright, I gotta craft this stuff.
Back for more supplies. The local animancer, if you can believe it. Sapiento vouched for me. He wants to study my soul. Mainly, he just asks a lot of strange questions. Could be worse. My skates would be on him. No hard feelings. Anyway, I'm not sure what kind
I
of
think I ran into
favor
her
I
last
could
time
owe
I played.
you, but I owe you one. Thank you. So much to do.
I can't log into it.
You should see the drunks try to grab the lanterns. Gets me every time.
Good.
I always thought they should move to High Market. Then they'd make enough to eat.
Welcome back, Envoy.
Gotta
Show
clear
it
that
here.
bounty. Fred, you're a little fucking terrorist.
Remind me not to get on your bad side, Envoy. Good. Too many good men and women died because of that bastard. May he face Magren's fires in his next life.
Let's see what Amazon says.
Be safe out
Man,
there.
you know,
hear?
the amount of contracts you sign when you're an employee is wild. People need to learn to read this shit more. I mean, companies will try to take everything from you.
Yeah, I'm right now just trying to do my taxes for being a little bitch. Your friend's being a little asshole.
Well, that was live.
We probably will, but we're also going to be hoping Capcom store for these later today, you're not gonna like. Picking all the malls right.
Yep.
I tried using tape and everything. Police is the number one catch. When it comes to shooting. Oh. Come on, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there.
Yeah, I got me and Amazon's kind of got a little beef going on. They don't want me to unionize. I want to unionize. Yeah, so such is life. Huh. Maybe I fucked up right there. I gotta finish out some paperwork. I mean, they'll probably end up trying to fire me at some point. I'll make their life way too hard. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
News of a strange plague travels from Third Ward. Rest easy, friends, as there seems to be no danger to Paradise.
Pre-tax return? Pre-tax is... Wait. That would be what your normal 401k is. Pre-tax. They put money into it before you get taxed.
So, you're the one they all crow about. Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his caps.
But I'm not as...
ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of my cool. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
I fucking can't continue until they get it.
Damn, I need to be.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be? Hiding behind stone walls all your life.
You don't know anything about me, you dear Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Dukte Drago Sakasapt Jitule. You want to talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored, we could always start something anyway. I'm with you. Ready to crack some heads.
You stay out of it, Envoy. This isn't your problem. Nothing's over until I say it is. Come on, Maile. Let's show these people
And the
why you
video's
don't
done.
pick fights in the Ballarok.
Ooh, he's dead. And they're dead. And you're dead. Oh, and oh, damn. And you're dead. And you're dead.
Thanks, Marius. More blood to clean.
Come on, Amakul. You know you love it.
Good fighter.
Well, that was...
Damn. Alright, so I gotta clip that.